Hello my dear children, hope you all are fine over there. Welcome to our physics class. In the previous session we had discussed about rules of image formation for concave as well as convex mirrors. Today we are going to apply those rules in order to trace the ray diagrams of concave and convex mirrors. Before that, I just want to discuss some of the basic facts related to this session. Children, as you know, whenever the distance of the object from the mirror changes, the distance of image from the mirror will also change. I repeat, as the distance between the object and the mirror changes, the distance of the image from the mirror also changes. Okay, this is the first point that you must keep in your mind. Okay, an object can be anywhere in front of the mirror. Sometimes an object may be at focus, some other time it may be at center of curvature, or it may be between focus and center of curvature, or it may be beyond center of curvature. So an object can be anywhere in front of the mirror. So depending upon the different positions of the object, the position of the image will also change. And we want to find out the position of that image with respect to the position of the object. That is our aim in this ray diagram, and we want to observe it, we want to digest it, and we want to keep those facts always in our mind, because you can expect so many tricky questions based on this concepts. And the second most important point is that there are two types of images. As you know, there are two types of images, real image and virtual image. So when do we get a real image? When the rays actually meet at a point. Okay, see, in order to trace an image, we need two rays. We are selecting only two rays, but in fact an object will emit infinite number of light rays, but from that we are selecting only two rays in order to trace the position of the object. Otherwise the diagram may be a complicated one. So to avoid that, we are selecting only two of the light rays emitted from an object, and we want to find out the position where these two light rays after reflection will meet. If the rays after reflection actually meet at a point, real image is formed. But if the rays after reflection just appear to meet at a point, now you know what is the meaning of actually meet or appear to meet, hasn't it? We had discussed in our previous sessions. So if the rays only appear to meet at a point, virtual images are usually formed there. Okay, and you know the difference between real and virtual image. Real image can be obtained on a screen, but virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. But diagrammatically, real image is obtained when both the rays after reflection actually meet at a point, and virtual images are formed when the rays after reflection appear to meet at a point. And the third most important fact is that all the real images will be inverted. All the real images will be inverted. All the virtual images will be erect. So in order to represent an inverted image, we will just draw the inverted form of the object. Similarly, in order to represent the erect form of an image, we will draw the erect form of the object. Okay, so these are the important facts that you must keep in mind before tracing the ray diagram for convex as well as concave mirror. If you still have doubt in these facts, just rewind this video and once again try to understand these facts, then you move on to the next session. Okay, so now we can move on to the session where we can trace the path of reflected rays, and we can also trace the position of image with respect to different positions of object for both concave mirror and convex mirror. Please be attentive. This is the very important part. You can expect lots of tricky questions from this area. Okay children, so let's start. So children, we will discuss about the image formation of concave mirror. First, we will discuss the formation of image when the object is at infinity. So for concave mirror, there are 6 positions of object. We are discussing the positions of image for 6 positions of object for a concave mirror. So the first position of object is object at infinity. What happens when the object is at infinity? We had already discussed whenever the object is at infinity, the light rays received from an infinite object are always represented as parallel straight lines. Okay, so the light rays from an object at infinity is always represented by parallel straight lines. So here also we can represent the light rays from the object at infinity. Since the object is at infinity, no need to represent the object. But in your NCERT textbook, the object has been represented like this. See, this arrow mark is the object and it can be denoted as A, B. So this arrow mark is the object, and here the light rays are emitted by this object, and let the light rays emitted by the object is denoted by parallel straight lines like this. See, this type of parallel straight lines are emitted by an object at infinity. Okay, and these rays are parallel rays, isn't it? These rays are incident parallel to the principal axis. Now it's time to apply our first rule. What is our first rule? Our first rule states that whenever a ray is incident parallel to the principal axis on a concave mirror or on any mirror, the reflected ray will pass through focus, isn't it? So this is a parallel ray, and this parallel ray after reflection it must pass through focus. Okay, and this is another parallel ray, and this ray is also after reflection it should pass through focus. It should not bend like this, actually it must be a straight line. Okay, it should pass through focus. And here both the reflected rays intersect or meet at the point F. I had told you wherever the two rays after reflection meets, there we will get the image. So here the two reflected rays meet together at the point F, that means focus. So image is also formed at focus, and it will be a point sized image. Is it a real image or virtual image, my dear children? It will be a real image. Why? Because the reflected rays actually meet at the point F. So you will get a real image, and whenever image is real it will be an inverted one. So you will get a real inverted image at which position? At focus. So you will get the following informations from this ray diagram. When the object is at infinity, where is the image? Image is formed at focus. And what is the nature of the image? It will be a real image, and since it is real it will be an inverted one. And what is the shape or what is the size? Is it big or small compared with the object? You know, whenever the object is at infinity it will be a bigger one. Example for an object at infinity is sun, and you know how bigger the sun is. So any object at infinity will be a magnified one. So compared with the object, image is very, very small. It's a point sized image, highly diminished or point sized image. Okay, so whenever the object is at infinity, image is formed at focus. It will be a real inverted and point sized image. So this is the nature of image, real, inverted, point sized. This is the nature of image, and this is the position of image. Image is formed at focus. Okay, so when the object is at infinity, where is the image formed? Image is formed at focus. Now we can move on to the next position of object. What is the next position? Object beyond center of curvature. So here, this is center of curvature point. Object beyond center of curvature means object will be somewhere here, beyond the center of curvature. So let this be our object. So an object is usually denoted like this. So this is our object AB. And I told you this object emit infinite number of light rays, but we will select only 2 among them in order to trace the ray diagram. So here I am going to select first ray, that is parallel ray. This is one ray, and another ray I am going to select the ray passing through focus. So these are the 2 rays. And before that, I just want to remind you one thing. Whenever you represent the light rays from emitting from an object, you must mark an arrow here. Otherwise, you will lose your marks. An arrow makes it a light ray. Otherwise, it will be simply a line. Okay, arrows are very, very important in ray diagrams because you are drawing the ray diagrams, not simply the line diagrams. So, if you want to make it a ray diagram, arrows are very, very important. Okay, so these 2 are the light rays. Now, it's time to apply the rule. Now, you can easily trace the path. See, this is a parallel ray, and this parallel ray, after reflection, it will pass through focus. Okay, and this ray passing through focus, what will be the path of the reflected ray? Second rule. Yeah, ray passing through the focus after reflection, it will pass parallel to the principal axis. So this will pass parallel to the principal axis, isn't it? So this will be the path of the reflected ray. Now you can see this point. See, this is the point where both the reflected rays meet, isn't it? This is the reflected ray, and this reflected ray and this reflected ray meet together at this point. So here you will get the image, and image, it's a real image. Why? Because the reflected rays actually meet at this point. So this will be a real image. Since it is a real image, it will be an inverted one. See, an inverted image is represented like this, and in image can be represented as A dash, B dash. See, this is the object, this is the image. Since it is real, it must be represented like this, inverted with respect to object. Okay, so what is the position of the image here? Image is formed between center of curvature and focus. So whenever the object is beyond C, where is the image formed? What is the position of the image? Image is formed between center of curvature and focus. And what is the nature of the image? Image is real. Since it is real, it will be inverted. And what about the size? It is diminished. Diminished means smaller. Okay, the object is bigger and image is smaller. So, it will be a diminished image. Okay, so whenever the object is beyond the center of curvature, image is formed between center of curvature and focus, and it will be a real, inverted and diminished image. Now, next position of the object. So next position is object at center of curvature. Object at center of curvature means here, this is center of curvature. So the object is situated here at the center of curvature. So now our object is at center of curvature C. AB is our object. Again we can select 2 rays. One ray is the parallel ray, and another ray we can select the same one, ray passing through the focus. Okay. Now apply the rule. Parallel ray, after reflection it will pass through focus, and this ray passing through focus, after reflection it will be parallel to the principal axis, isn't it? Let me once again draw this. See, it is parallel to the principal axis. Okay, and where is the image? See, this is the point of intersection, so here you will get the image, and image will be a real image, so it will be inverted one, and the image is A dash B dash. So where is the image? At center of curvature itself. So here object is at center of curvature, image is also at center of curvature. So this is an interesting position of concave mirror. Whenever the object is at center of curvature, image is also formed at center of curvature. And what about the size? Size are same. Size of the object is equal to size of the image. So at which position concave mirror produces same sized image? That will be the question. Yes, when the object is at center of curvature. So when the object is at center of curvature, what is the position of image? Image is also formed at center of curvature. And what will be the nature of image? It will be real image, and it will be inverted. Real inverted are just like brothers. So it will be a real inverted image, and it will be same size. Okay, nature means we must represent whether it is real or virtual, and also we must represent its size. So compared to the object, size of the image is same. So when the object is at center of curvature, image is also formed at center of curvature, and it will the image will be real, inverted, and same sized image. Okay, so this is an important position. For which position concave mirror produces same sized image? When the object is at center of curvature. For which when the object is at center of curvature, where is the image? Image is also formed at the same point, that is at center of curvature. Children, we can move on to the next position of the object. Now we can move quickly because now we are familiar with this concept. So in the previous position, the object was at center of curvature. Now we move a little bit closer to the mirror. So now the object is at between C and F. Object between C and F. That is our position. So object between C and F means object will be here, somewhere here between C and F, and we can choose two rays. One ray, parallel ray, and another ray passing through the focus. See children, we can choose any rays, any two rays. Okay, some in your NCERT textbook they might have chosen one ray as the parallel ray and another ray passing through the center of curvature, like that. So no problem, you can choose any two of the rays. You can follow the NCERT textbook pattern also, no problem. So here the parallel ray, after reflection it will pass through focus, and this ray passing through focus will pass parallel to the principal axis. Isn't it? Now where these two rays meet here. Okay, somewhere here. So image is also formed here. And since these two rays actually meet at this point, image is also real image is formed. Since it is a real image, it will be an inverted one. So A dash B dash, this is the image. Where is the image formed? Image is formed beyond the center of curvature. See, image is formed beyond center of curvature, and it will be a real inverted image. And what about the size? Yeah, it is a bigger one. Bigger means magnified or enlarged. Okay, magnified or enlarged. So when the object is between C and F, image is formed beyond C, and it will be a real inverted and enlarged one. Okay, so see, when the object is between C and F, image is formed beyond C. It will be a real inverted and enlarged image. So from the center of curvature position onwards, our image starts to become an enlarged one. Okay, not from after the center of curvature position. Now the next position of object is object at F. Object at F means object will be here. Okay, this will be the object AB. We can choose two rays. One is the parallel ray, and another ray we can choose the ray incident at the pole, isn't it? And this parallel ray, after reflection, it will pass through focus. And this ray, which is incident at the pole, what is the last rule? Yeah, it will be reflected along the same angle, like this. So these are the two reflected rays, isn't it? And these two reflected rays are parallel. So the parallel rays are assumed to meet somewhere at infinity. So image is also assumed to be formed at infinity. So whenever the object is at focus, image is formed at infinity. And anything formed at infinity will be very, very big. So what will be the size of an image? It will be highly enlarged and it will be real inverted, because the rays are assumed to be actually meet at infinity. So what will be the position of the image? Image is formed at infinity when the object is at focus. And what will be the nature? It will be real, inverted and highly enlarged. It will be real, inverted and highly enlarged. Okay. Now, the last and very important position in the case of concave mirror, object between focus and pole. This is focus, this is pole. Object between focus and pole means this will be the position of the object. And one ray we can choose parallel ray, another ray we can choose the ray incident at the pole. This parallel ray, after reflection, it will pass through focus, and this ray, after reflection, it will be reflected along the same angle. Here you can see these two are the reflected rays, but these two reflected rays are not parallel to each other. They are diverging, isn't it? This ray is moving along this direction and this ray is moving along this direction. Both the reflected rays are diverging. So the diverging rays can never meet at anywhere. So no chances of forming a real image here. In such cases, we need to extend these two reflected rays backwards like this. So this is one reflected ray, extend it backward. This is another reflected ray, extend it backward like this. And these two dotted lines meet at here, and here you can represent the image. This will be the image A dash, B dash in this case. What is the nature of this image? Is it a real image or virtual image, my dear children? Here the rays are not actually meeting at a point. We extend the rays backward and we appear to make them intersect at this point. So these two reflected rays appear to meet here, and there we have traced the image. So this is not a real image. This is a virtual image. And as you know, a virtual image is always erect. See, A, B, A dash, B dash. Both object and image are erect, or image is erect with respect to object. And what about the size of the image? It will be a enlarged one. So where is it formed? See here, only for this case image is formed behind the mirror. In all other cases image is formed in front of the mirror, isn't it? But only for this case image is formed behind the mirror. So this position of the concave mirror is very, very important. And only for this position concave mirror produces a virtual image. For all other positions concave mirror has produced a real image. See, the real like that. Only for this position, when the object is between focus and pole, the concave mirror produces a virtual image. So where is the image formed? Image is formed behind the mirror. Image is formed behind the mirror. And what is the nature of the image? It is virtual, erect and enlarged. Virtual, erect and enlarged. So which mirror produces virtual and enlarged image? Concave mirror. Which mirror produces virtual and enlarged image? Concave mirror. Okay. And for which position concave mirror produces a virtual image? Position is object between focus and pole. Object between focus and pole. It's very important question. So you can expect this question. Name a mirror that produces a virtual and enlarged image. Okay, virtual enlarged. You must remember these two words, virtual enlarged. Which is that mirror? Concave mirror. And for which position concave mirror produces virtual image? Concave mirror produces virtual image for when the object is between focus and pole. And when you look at the nature of image formed by concave mirror, you will understand one interesting thing. A concave mirror can produce diminished image. A concave mirror can produce same sized image. Concave mirror can also produce enlarged image, isn't it? So concave mirror can produce diminished image, same sized image and enlarged image. Based on that, the applications of concave mirror is also very wide. So we will discuss more about the applications of the concave and convex mirror in the next session. And at that time you must keep this fact in your mind. Okay. So concave mirror can produce diminished image, same sized image as well as enlarged image. It can also produce real image and virtual image. But concave mirror can produce virtual image only for one position. Which is that position? Object between focus and pole. Okay. Now we can discuss the cases of convex mirror. Convex mirror has only two cases, so we can complete it within a couple of seconds. So children, next we are going to discuss the image formation by convex mirror. So the first position is object at infinity. As you know, when the object is at infinity, the rays are represented like parallel rays as shown here. And so this is one ray, this is another ray. And we know since this is a concave mirror, it will diverge like this after reflection. This ray also will diverge like this. And these two reflected rays, apply the first rule. Yeah, it appeared to pass through focus. And this reflected ray also appeared to pass through focus. And both the lines meet here at focus. So that means image is formed at focus. So when the object is at infinity, in the case of convex mirror, image is formed at focus. And here also it will be a virtual image because the rays do not actually meet at F. It just appear to meet at F. So this will be a virtual image. Since it is virtual, it will be erect. And this is a diminished one because it is highly point sized image. Highly diminished actually. Not just diminished, it is highly diminished. It's point sized image. Okay, so it will be virtual, erect and diminished image is formed at focus. And the last position of convex mirror is that object between infinity and pole. Object between infinity and pole means object can be anywhere here between infinity and pole. So here I have represented the object AB and two rays are there. One is the parallel ray, another ray which appears to pass through center of curvature. So this parallel ray, it will after reflection it will diverge like this and it will appear to pass through focus. And this ray appears to pass through center of curvature. It retraces its path, isn't it? It retraces its path like this. This is the third rule of convex mirror. And both the dotted lines meet here. So here you will get the image, and here the rays don't actually meet, they just appear to meet. So you will get a virtual image, and virtual image will be an erect one. So the image can be represented like this. This is the image A dash B dash. So this is object, this is image. See which is bigger? Object is bigger, image is diminished. And here also the convex mirror produces virtual, erect and diminished image. Virtual, erect and diminished image. And it is formed between focus and pole. Position of the images between focus and pole. What is the nature? Virtual, erect and diminished. In the first case also, what is the nature? Virtual, erect and diminished. Okay. So, what is the nature of image formed by convex mirror in general? Yeah, in general we can say a convex mirror always produces, that is the important point here. A convex mirror always produces virtual, erect and diminished image. So which mirror always produces virtual, erect and diminished image? Convex mirror. But what about a concave mirror? A concave mirror can produce variety of images actually, isn't it? A concave mirror can produce a diminished image. It can produce same sized image. It can also produce highly enlarged image. Okay, but convex mirror can always produces virtual, erect, diminished image. Concave mirror can produce diminished, same sized, enlarged image. Also it can produce real and virtual image. One more question can I ask you? See, which mirror can produce virtual and enlarged image? Which mirror can produce virtual and enlarged image? Children, only concave mirror, because when you see the term virtual, don't always write convex. Concave mirror can produce virtual enlarged. If it is virtual diminished, you can definitely go for convex mirror. But if it is virtual and enlarged, it will be a concave mirror. Always keep in your mind, virtual enlarged. It is produced by concave mirror only. Virtual enlarged, concave mirror. Virtual diminished, convex mirror. Virtual diminished, convex mirror. Virtual enlarged, concave mirror. Okay, so based on their images, their applications are also different, and we will discuss about the applications of convex mirror and concave mirror in our next session. So I am concluding this part. Please draw and practice the ray diagram. This is a very important part. So we will meet in the next session. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.